If you are struggling with debts and looking for ways to become debt-free, then you should watch this video to the end, because in this video, I'll be sharing with you Dave Ramsey's top 10 debt-free strategies. Tip number 1 is the debt snowball method. And if you're a fan of Dave Ramsey, then you must have heard of this method quite a lot. What this simply means is that you start by paying off your smallest debts first, while making minimum payments on the others. So you want to take a look at your debts and your loans and arrange them in order from the smallest to the largest. As each small debt gets paid off, you then add that to the next payment, which makes it bigger, and then you can pay off your debts faster. This makes your payments bigger, and then you can easily pay off all your debts faster, much like a snowball going downhill, hence the name, the snowball method. Tip number 2 is to live below your means. And I know this might sound like a cliche, but you really want to live below your means if you want to become debt-free. This simply means spending less money than you make. So what you want to do is prioritize things that are important to you, such as your rent, your bills, your car payments, and any loans or debts that you need to repay. So here are some tips to ensure that you do this right. First, you want to make sure you budget. So allocate a portion of your income to essential things such as your rent, your bills, and any payments that you need to make. The second one is to cut out all unnecessary spending. The third one is to look for discounts and deals. This will help you save money on things that are very important, such as your food or your groceries. And the fourth one is to make sure you track all your spending. Tip number 3 is to have an emergency fund. And you want to think of an emergency fund as a safety net that you keep aside for unexpected situations that might happen in your life, right? So someone falling sick, a huge car bill, or some form of payment that you have no idea about. An emergency fund would help you in those situations and ensure that you don't run into debt looking for how to fix those situations. So here are some things that you need to know about having an emergency fund. The first one is, what's the purpose? Ensure that your emergency fund is only for things that are essential and things that would catch you off guard, such as a medical bill or huge car payments or sudden unemployment. So ensure that your emergency fund is only used for those things. The second one is how much. Ideally, you want to have 6 months of living expenses saved, but the more, the better. And finally, you want to ensure that your emergency fund is accessible and can be easily reached. So make sure it's not tied up in things such as investment funds or retirement funds, which would make it very difficult for you to have access to that money when you need it. Tip number 4 is avoiding new debts. Now on this channel, we've talked about credit cards and the importance of credit card. But if you're trying to get rid of any old debt that you have, then it makes sense not to take on any new one. This will ensure that you're in control of your finances and you avoid the added stress of owing more money to lenders. So how do you avoid new debt? First, you want to make a budget. This would ensure that you know how much is coming in and how much is going out. And this way you can track and see if you can afford to spend more money without going into debt. And secondly, it's all about discipline and your mindset about money. When you are tempted to spend something that you haven't budgeted for, all you just need to do is take a step back and see if that thing is really important or is just something that would make you spend more money. Tip number 5 is to implement the envelope system. So you want to imagine a bunch of envelopes, each labeled with a different category, such as rent, groceries, bills, entertainment. So with the envelope system, you put a set amount of cash in each envelope based on your budget for the month. So let's say you allocate £200 for groceries for the month. So you put £200 into that groceries envelope, and that's where you take from every time you go shopping. And when that money runs out, you stop spending on groceries until the next month. This envelope system is very, very essential as it helps you stick to your budget and ensures that you are not running out of cash when you need it. It's a visual way to manage your spending and ensure you are not overspending. Tip number 6 is to pause all investing. Now, I know on this channel we'll talk all about long-term investing and ensuring that you're putting some money aside for investing. But when you are trying to get rid of debt, you want to ensure that all your focus is on getting rid of any debt that you have now. So you want to pause investing and ensure that all monies that come in are geared towards erasing all your old debts. Once you've paid off all your debts, you can start investing again, and now you have more money which you can channel to more investment opportunities and ensure that you build wealth for the long term. Tip number 7 is to stop comparing yourself with others. And this is all about focusing on your own financial journey and quit comparing yourself to what others are doing. But here's what you need to know. When you constantly compare yourself to others, it can make you feel like you are not doing well enough or you are not keeping up. So for example, a neighbor buys a new car, or they buy a new house, or they go on an extravagant vacation. This can weigh you down and makes you think that you need to keep up or you're not doing well enough. But the truth is, everybody's financial journey is different. So you want to learn to stop comparing yourself to others and stay in your own lane and run your own race and ensure that you are getting better every day, even if it's by 1% or a single percent. So you want to ensure that you are getting better daily. This is how you win for the long term. Tip number 8 is all about accountability. And now here's the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. No one is coming to help you get rid of your own debts. So you want to ensure that you are doing everything well, sticking to your own lane and being accountable. But then I know that it might become very difficult, making a budget, tracking your spending, ensuring you are not overspending. This is where accountability comes in. One tip I can give you is to ensure you have like a buddy or a family friend or a good friend who you are sure would be able to hold you accountable and ensure that you are doing the right things at the right time. So for myself, what I do is I'm accountable to my wife, and I ensure that every month I show her all my spendings and what I did right or what I felt I didn't do well, and then we both work on the plan and ensure that the next month gets better. So your accountability partner will be like your cheerleader or even your coach or a mentor, and they will be there to hold your hand, cheering you on, making sure that you are sticking to your own plans. And in the situations where you deviate from your plans, they are not there to judge you, but they are there to make sure that you get on the right path and you continue on your own journey. Tip number 9 is continuous learning. Now, we live in a world where things change every single day. And it's the same way in the financial world. Things are constantly changing. So you want to ensure that you are continuously learning, improving on yourself, and working on getting better. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all about getting better every single day. So there are things like seminars, there are YouTube videos like this one, which I would appreciate if you subscribe. And then there are educational materials that you can get that would ensure you are improving yourself, getting better on your financial goals, and working towards your long-term plan. Tip number 10 is to start a side hustle. And this simply means a way to earn extra money outside your regular job. An extra income would help you pay off your debts faster or save for the future. And it could be anything from freelance work, teaching students, selling handmade crafts, or even driving with ride-sharing companies. The beauty of a side hustle is that you can do it in your spare time, so it doesn't interfere with your main job. And it also gives you the opportunity to explore your passions and your interests, and at the same time making money on the side. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Starting a side hustle can be very difficult and it might take a lot of effort and time. But trust me, the payoff is worth it. And it would help ensure that you get rid of your debt faster, and you also have something to keep aside for the future. So if you want to ensure that you get rid of your debts, you are financially free for the future, think about starting a side hustle. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider giving us a like and subscribe. and I'll see you in the next one.